I'm so excited to finally drop those red flags that you are either looking at a cult or something with very strong cultic tendencies from somebody born and raised in a cult. Disclaimer, these are not probably all of the red flags. These are what I consider the red flags from first or secondhand experience. Number one, I would say, is the most easily identifiable thing that you will see. This is leader worship, okay? If somebody is viewed as larger than life, okay, they are almost above humans. They are unapproachable. It is almost as if the congregation is holding their breath for the next thing that comes out of their mouth, the next movement they make. They are almost considered a god on the earth, and you almost wonder if everybody is worshiping the person or the Lord himself. I would say this is a big red flag. This can inadvertently happen over time, but it should be nipped in the bud by a leader. A good leader will recognize that this is happening, give all the glory to the Lord, tell people not to act this way. I would say number two would be no accountability. If anything was to happen between you and one of the head leaders, is there anybody that you could report to safely? And I'm not saying technically, because a lot of people have those technicalities in place. Somebody that you feel like you wouldn't be looked at sideways for saying what you need to say safely. Would there be a chain of events where people would be questioning your authenticity? Your church home should be a safe space where you are able to come forward and say these sort of allegations without being questioned. I would say this is also very important in the fact that the leader needs to have somebody that they can go to. Somebody who will check them in case they notice they're going a little bit wonky, one direction or the other. What you doing, buddy? Over here, over here. It's a narrow path, right? We want to stay on the narrow. So it's important to have accountability, even if you're a leader. Okay, number three, I would say, is divine revelation. Does this person claim that they have seen and heard something from the Lord God Almighty that nobody else has seen or heard? That they have a revelation that nobody else has had until this point? Okay, is everybody else wrong? If every other group is condemned or you are dissuaded from listening to anybody else or attending any other church affiliations, this is a major flag, okay? You should not be the only voice of truth. You should also be able to verify it in the text of the Bible, and not just interpreted through your leader. You want to make sure that this is something that you can hold to truth from another source, just in case your leader is super good at spinning things in their interpretation. There's a reason that we've ended up with so many denominations and cults within those denominations. Number four, I would say would be blind allegiance with a no questions policy. Okay, you should feel free and even encouraged to approach your leaders with any philosophical, theological, or personal questions that you might have, whether it be about the Bible or their doctrine. You should be able to ask them where they got this, and what about this, and what about that. And if that's not something that is tolerated or even encouraged, I would say that this is a big flag. Number five would be isolation from outsiders, okay? This one's kind of obvious, but you may not notice it at first. It may just look like you don't want to hang out with who you don't want to look like. This is all wisdom, and this is a good thing to pocket in your life in general. However, who are they considering everybody that has bad character? Is it everybody outside of this group? If so, that is a big, big, big flag. Whatever number we're on now, I would say disregarding boundaries would be a huge sign, okay? And this isn't just, oh, we're part of the leadership team, so we were asked to stay late. We were asked to help out with this thing. We were asked if we could push aside this event. Those things in and of themselves are not necessarily flags, in my opinion. I would say if boundaries are entirely disregarded and you are giving time limits to how much you are able to help, time and time again, these are overlooked. I would say if you are overworked and underpaid, I would say if you are overworked and underfed, I would say if you are overworked and underappreciated. While this may not be a cult flag itself, it is definitely a high control group flag, and it is definitely cultic tendencies that we want to stay away from. This next flag I want to mention, I'm lowering my voice with because I think that we need to take it very seriously, and it's that members are cast out for failure to conform. All of the other ones that I've mentioned are definitely cause for concern. This one maybe hits a little closer to home. I've not only seen this done in the cult that I was raised in, but also a community that we came from, where if you do not abide by exactly the rules that they are teaching, or if you slip and fall, whether or not that sin or fall or whatever is admitted to the leadership and repented of, I've seen people cast out of the community and cast off the grounds and told not to return. This is a very big red flag. I would say that this is really, really high up there. If there is any pastor who recognizes that his followers are falling away, you would think that if that is a good pastor, he would go as Jesus did and get the lost sheep. If they refuse to listen, that is one thing. If they refuse to follow and they don't want to be a part of anything, okay, fine, go your way. But if there is somebody who is admitting their fault, that is sin that is forgiven, and we are no longer to judge that. If that person is therefore kicked out of the church, told not to return, this pastor is going to be held accountable for that sheep. If anything happens to their souls, that is on his hands. This last flag I take so seriously. If there is any type of sexual, physical, or other intense abuse within the church, this is a huge flag. Please run for the hills. Some of the other things may be cultic tendencies. Some of these things may be like, yeah, it's a cult. You may want to. This one right here, if this is occurring, this needs to be addressed immediately. This needs to be brought to light. This leader needs to be kicked out of their position. Whether or not they are repentant, they are not fit to lead. If any of these things have happened to you, then on behalf of the church, I would like to apologize as a Christian, because this is a horrible representation of Jesus who we follow. Okay, Jesus is loving and kind and meek and good. He does not will this for you. God did not will that for you. And I am so sorry that that has happened. But that was not God, that was man. Also, if you are somebody that has encountered any sort of abuse, I highly advise you to go get counseling so that you can properly heal. If this is still happening, or if that leader is still put in place, please report this. If the church leadership is not a safe place for you to report this, or if you were disregarded, please file a police report. These people need to be held accountable for their actions, and they need to be put down out of leadership, because if it has happened to you, it is likely happening to somebody else, or could happen to somebody else. Thank you so much for watching. I know that was a long haul. I'm probably going to have to upload this in like multiple parts. I love you guys. I pray and hope that you guys have a great day. May we stay away from the cults, and when we see one, may we call it what it is and leave. God bless. Goodbye.